Are the New York Knicks trying to trade for a big man? We're going to break that down on today's show as Ian Begley, the New York Knicks insider for SNY, listed some names that I think all people should keep an eye on. Before we do that, though, if you want Leon Rose, Worldwide Wes, and the New York Knicks front office to add another bench piece to this basketball team, hit that thumbs up icon right now. This is New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. New York Knicks trade targets are the focus of today's show. Ian Begley on his podcast, The Putback, mentioned some names that he said everyone should kind of be paying attention to, and they all followed a similar theme. Big men. Let's start with one in the Eastern Conference playing for the 76ers. And that is Andre Drummond, the 32-year-old big man who was just splashing threes in the corner at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. Look, he makes $5 million. And I think we all know in the day and age of the NBA at this point, thanks to the new CBA, when you talk trades, you got to talk salary. The New York Knicks would have to send out $5 million in salary. And I'll just say this. I think Guerschon Yabusele is a player the New York Knicks would be willing to trade and use his money to match salary in a deal. Drummond is one of the best rebounding bigs really in the modern NBA. Like over the last 20 years, he's one of the best to do it. And the New York Knicks, they could use another guy like that. Ian Begley of SNY said this about Drummond. Looking at how the Knicks have viewed him in the past, which is favorably, they've wanted to take a run at him in past off seasons. I wonder if that's a guy they check the temperature on. This year for Philadelphia, Drummond has played in 26 games. With Embiid in and out of the lineup, 7.5 points per game, 9.6 rebounds. He is averaging 1 block per game, and he has even extended his game to be able to knock down some threes. I don't understand how he can knock down threes and a guy like Ben Simmons could never, but he's shooting 41% from three this year, albeit not on all that many attempts per game. He is averaging 1.4 threes attempted. He's making 0.6 of them. Big guy, can control the glass, would be a nice kind of a backup option for Mitchell Robinson, who has been pretty injury prone throughout his career. I think we can all agree on that. I would be interested in Drummond for the right price. What would it be? Could you get it done for just Yabusele? You send Yabusele back to Philly, you add Drummond. I think Philly, though, places a pretty strong importance on Drummond. Something to follow, something I would be interested in if the price is right. What about bringing a familiar face back to the New York Knicks? Precious Achiuwa was mentioned by Ian Begley. He is currently on the Sacramento Kings right now, and every single time I see a new report out there, it seems like every player on the Kings is available for a trade. And at 6'8", we know what Precious can do. He can play some defense. He can get out and run and transition a little bit. He's an athlete. At 26 years old, I still think there's some good basketball in front of him. He's not going to bring much for you on the offensive end. He could be a nice pick and roll guy. He could be a roller and finish around the rim. He's got some defensive versatility as well. For $2.1 million, could you maybe trade Pacome Dadier for Precious Achiuwa? Kind of working backwards there, but maybe a situation the New York Knicks are in. Ian Begley says, is a reunion in the cards? I don't know. I just wonder because of the situation. And I wouldn't hate it. I think that it could make some sense. Precious has actually been pretty solid this year for Sacramento, averaging less than 7.5 points per game. They're giving you 5 more rebounds, a half a block per game. We know what he can do. We've seen him over the last 2 years in this uniform. I think he would fit like a glove on this team. I don't think there would be any concerns about any of that. I think he would actually love to come back to the New York Knicks. It would make some sense. And bringing back a versatile power forward that can defend, I don't think it's the worst idea the New York Knicks could have. Coming up next, we got a couple more trade targets I want to break down on today's video. But first, I do got to tell you guys about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks. They are the sponsor of Knicks Now, and they've got an awesome deal going on right now. Everyone's favorite PrizePicks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Pixmas. PrizePicks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Pixmas starts December 20th, so download the app today and unwrap those deals. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. All you do is create a lineup, and you select 2 to 6 players, and you simply select more or less on their projected stat line. I've got my Christmas Day lineup ready for some football. I'm taking the more on Dak Prescott passing yards. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown getting into the end zone. I have RJ Harvey having a day on Christmas. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks, but do it with PrizePicks. And when you use that promo code CLNS and you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 in lineups. Play your first $5 lineup after you use the promo code CLNS, and you're going to get $50 in lineups. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. Pick, predict, and play PrizePicks. Another Sacramento King mentioned by Begley was Dario Saric, the versatile forward who has bounced around the NBA over the past couple of years. The 31-year-old who is 6'10", 225 pounds, making $5.4 million this year, could be a versatile piece for this New York Knicks team off the bench. He's shown the ability to knock down some outside shots in his NBA career, someone that could help you on the boards as well. And I think the Knicks are a little bit thin in the front court, and this one could make some sense. Begley said, if you're looking for somebody to play a small role, I wonder if they take a look and see what it would take to add him. $5.4 million. Could you potentially do a Yabusele for Saric trade straight up? I don't think that is the worst idea that the New York Knicks could have. Yabusele has been pretty underwhelming for this team. Saric hasn't been great. He's barely even played for the Kings this year, but we've seen him in the past be productive. Go back to 23-24, where he averaged 8 points and shot 37% from three. The year before that, he shot 39% from three. I think there's still got to be some ball where he could be a productive player for a team. Again, it's a low-value trade. Can't get much worse than what Yabusele is giving you right now. Dario Saric, another player name. The biggest player named in this trade is Daniel Gafford, the athletic big man out of Dallas. This is someone that I would love to add to this basketball team. The tricky part is, how do you get to $14.3 million and make a trade appetizing for the Dallas Mavericks, who are playing better basketball as of late? And I don't think they're just willing to sell assets at this point for a discount, especially with Nico Harrison not there anymore. You might be able to convince him to make a stupid trade, but I don't know about this new ownership and decision makers for Dallas. Gafford is like a 6'10" Mitchell Robinson. Uber athlete, can block shots, can rebound the basketball, awesome lob threat in the pick and roll. I'd love to add him. Ian Begley says, I thought he would be available. It seems like they want to compete, they being Dallas. So if that's the case, Gafford won't be available. And like Begley, I don't anticipate Gafford being in a trade. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about. Like adding another guy who is a double-double machine. He could score it a little bit, has some soft touch around the rim. If you have a point guard that could throw it up to the top shelf, a pick and roll with him and Tyler Kolek, that would be pretty fun to watch. He's a defensive guy as well. Over the last 3 years, he's averaged more than 1.6 blocks per game. Once he got out of Washington, he showed that he could contribute to winning. At 27 years old, I think it would be a great piece for the New York Knicks. I think, though, of all the players that we've talked about on today's show, this is probably the least likely of all of them. I don't think going out and trading for a big man is the worst idea. Like, the Knicks are one Mitchell Robinson injury away from being a very small basketball team. They're one Karl Anthony Towns injury away from being extremely thin at that big man spot. Yeah, you got Mitch. Yeah, you got Cat. Are you ready for Ariel Hukporti to play meaningful minutes? I thought Trey Jamison played good the other night. Do I want Trey Jamison playing every single night? I don't know. Guerschon Yabusele has showed you that he can't contribute right now for this team. So finding a way to maybe ease that log jam that you have at the guard spot with McBride, Kolek, Clarkson, Shamet, and Dottier, with Brunson and Bridges, like, McBride needs to play. Clarkson needs to play. Kolek needs to play. When Shamet comes back, he probably needs to play. I don't know if you can go 6 deep at the guard spot. They're going to have to make a trade. I think a trade is coming for the New York Knicks. They've been awesome this year. Like, everyone should be thrilled with how they're playing. but Leon is not going to sit on his hands. He's constantly looking, evaluating, and peeking around the NBA to see who's available. If the right trade emerges, he's going to pull the trigger. And we'll break it down on this channel once it happens. That's why you subscribe. That's why you give me a follow on social media. We'll see you later.